So tying the belt around the thighs, above the knees, and actually reaching into those thighs gives you a nice connection to your middle body. So just pressing the legs gently into the belt enables your spine to release to the floor, potentially more effectively than without the belt, just because you're activating your legs. And then from here, I'm just going to get you to slide your arms up to the sky so that you take your beach ball arm position. So fingertips in line with the shoulders, fingertips in line with the armpits, just beyond the shoulders. Elbows softening out to the side, just imagining you're holding this very large ball of energy. And you're breathing into that space in that ball of energy. So deep breath in to that space at the front of the body, and then breathing out, allowing the back to settle even more to the earth. Feet parallel, legs gently pressing out into the belt. I would say maybe about 50 to 60% of your effort. And then the next time you exhale, I'm just going to get you to cross your right arm in front of your left arm and see if you can take a hold of the shoulder blades. So your elbows are relaxing on your chest, like you're giving yourself a big hug. And as you breathe in now, I want you to focus the breath into the back of the body. So breathing in, notice the breath moving into the back of the body, the back of the ribs, back of the shoulders. And then breathing out, releasing. Maybe allowing the elbows just to drop a little bit deeper onto the chest. Pressing the breath into the back of the body on the inhale and exhale, relaxing. Just taking another couple of breaths, just noticing that breath easing into the spine. And then the next time you inhale, bring your arms back to that beach ball position, allowing the energy to release out of the fingertips, slide down the arms, and pull into the shoulder blades. Take a couple of breaths there, noticing the breath automatically transferring into the front of the body. And then next time you exhale, cross in the opposite direction. So right arm crosses underneath left arm, or maybe I should say left arm crosses over right arm. Again, taking those breaths into the back of the body. Sending breath, sending oxygen. Increasing the blood supply to the back of the spine. And you deserve a hug. And then from there, ease out, back to your beach ball arms. And then the next time you breathe out, taking the arms up and overhead, this time lengthening out of the armpits, but maintaining length in the back of the body, so that as you next exhale, you can slide the heels towards the bottom, take the tail between the legs, and as you inhale, with the arms overhead, begin to peel yourself up into bridge pose, sliding the shins and the thighs forward, using those legs to evenly peel the back, the hips off the floor and roll onto the tops of the shoulders. It's like a single span suspension bridge. And then from there, the next time you exhale, swoop the arms forward towards the pelvis, press down with the hands and see if you can get any more space by releasing into the elbows, into the upper arms, and opening that space underneath the shoulders. Okay, next time you breathe out, you're peeling down, upper, middle, and lower back. Now, it may feel that the belt is a bit restrictive, but it's really focusing your energy on strengthening the legs and allowing the body to move into that narrow plane. So let's do that again. Breathe in, take your arms to the ceiling. Breathe out, take your arms overhead, and at the same time, curl your tail between your legs and lengthen the spine to the floor. And then as you breathe in, press the shins and the knees and the thighs forward, pressing down into the big toes, drawing the chest up towards the chin, and just noticing the power of that bridge position. Evenly reaching through the balls and the heels of the feet, gently pressing into the outer edges of the belt, and then the next time you breathe out, bring the arms forward and down to the floor so that you can press into the hands and the lower arms and maybe find a little bit more lift through the back of the body. Some of you might even be able to pop your hands underneath the sacrum. And then from there, breathing out, releasing down, upper, middle and lower back, all the way down to the earth. Breathing in here, and as you breathe out, slide the knees into the chest. Still got the belt on there. And then I'm going to extend my heels up to the sky. Now, the fact that I've got the belt around my legs means that I could potentially take my legs slightly further forward so that my heels are in line with my sit bones, as opposed to that movement there where I'm on a diagonal stretch and I'm having to wet my hip flexors. I'm just moving my legs away a little bit so that I'm not gripping my hip flexors so much. Pressing my legs into the strap. Okay, from that position, it's a good position just to ease the strap out. Now keep the strap in your hand because we're going to be working with a little hamstring move. So I'm going to pop my right foot back down to semi-supine and I'm going to pick up my left foot into half happy baby. Now half happy baby means I'm bringing my left knee into my armpit and I'm keeping my left ankle and heel in line with my knee. Can you see my knees bent there? I'm then just going to put a little loop of my belt around my left foot and I'm going to hold that with my left hand. I'm taking my right hand onto the back of my left thigh and I'm going to make a very small extension in my leg here. So as I exhale, I'm going to do it on my exhale, but actually I'm going to inhale to there. I'm going to almost be as if I'm trying to straighten my leg, but my knee stays down towards my armpit, so it's almost impossible to do. Then I exhale and bring my knee back into my armpit. So my inhale just moves my lower leg a little bit closer towards my left ear. My exhale brings my knee down into my armpit. Okay, you've got another 4 of those to do, and I'm just going to have a little look at you if I can see you. So it's a very small move. You're going to be moving probably about 4 or 5 inches if you're doing it really correctly. And then it's up to you. You could hold that movement at the last one. You could just start to bring the knee deeper into the armpit and really sense that stretch at the back of the right calf, sorry, the left calf. And then from there, take the belt into your right hand and bring your left ankle outside of the right knee. So I'm just keeping the belt there just to keep it out of trouble. Now the nice thing about this is that if you then take your left hand inside of your left thigh, just gently begin to press the left thigh away from the body. And what you'll find is you've probably opened up quite a lot into that left hip flexor. So you probably can move the knee away a bit more than you would normally be able to because of that movement we did in that half happy baby. Good job. Okay, and then from there, let's unloop the belt. Take that left foot back to the floor, semi-supine, and just for a moment, check out the difference in the energy flowing through the left leg compared to the energy flowing through the right. So we're going to change that. We're going to slide the right knee into the armpit and begin with half happy baby. So this is a great position, not just the way we're working in the hamstring here, but it's a really good opener for the lower back. So once you've had a little moment to get your body used to that position, you can then loop your belt around your right foot, hold the belt with your right hand, but place your left hand behind the right thigh. Just stabilizes the lower leg. Then you're making that gentle semi-extension on the inhale and drawing the knee to the armpit on the exhale. Easing out. Ooh, it's going to be tight there. Back into happy baby and then just keep going with that length at the back of the calf muscle. So I want you to do about 6. You've probably done about 4 now. Maybe on the last one you hold it for a couple of breaths. I'm just giving my leg a little bit of a rub while I'm doing it. Just being kind. There's lots of tight stuff going on in the back of my thigh there. Okay, and then from there, I'm going to take my belt into my left hand and I'm going to turn my right ankle outside of the front of my left knee. Flexing that right foot and then taking my right hand inside of the right knee and just going, oh yeah, look at all that space I've created. So really about counterposing sitting this movement. Now remember this week we're working on outlook. So looking at positive outlooks and how we can change from a glass half empty to a glass half full. See, I'm giving you all the kind of magic stretches today. Okay, releasing off, sliding back to semi-supine. So the belt's just coming out the way for a moment. And then from there, it's got to be done, hasn't it? Full happy baby. Both knees to the armpits. Both feet flexed. Really nice stretch in the lower back. Little rock from side to side. Just massages out that lumbar spine area. And then from there, we're going to bring the knees in, roll onto one side, and then bring ourselves up onto all fours. So I'm pressing, I'm lengthening my hands to the floor, I'm drawing my inner elbows towards each other. And I'm starting with a cat-cow. So as I exhale, as I inhale, I'm going to slide my chest forward. Shoulders slide back and down, pressing down with all 10 toes. And as I exhale, I'm taking that tail between the legs, I'm lifting my belly up behind the spine, and I'm drawing the chin to the chest. And let my head and neck relax. Inhale. Taking that chest forward, finding that little release through the front of the heart center. And exhale, rounding, peeling into the back. Head and neck relax. Okay, last time. Inhale. And as we exhale, we'll take our angry cat to start with. But then we're going to come to a neutral cat. So what does that mean? Well, I want you to feel that you've got a lovely flat back. And your flat back is emerging from the energy that you're exerting at the front of the core. So you're drawing your ribcage in towards the midline, and you're gently lifting navel to spine. And then from this movement, it's a very small kitten. So I'm just going to get you just to take the tail between the legs and just lengthen the lower back without moving the upper back. And then back to neutral. And then that lovely tail between the legs position. And you're going to feel the little stretch of the skin at the lower back. Neutral again. Okay, let's take that up a little bit. So we'll take the kitten tail, exhaling, sliding the left knee to the nose. Inhale, take the left foot into your 90-degree extension. So I've got my knee in line with my hip and my foot in line with my knee. Then I'm rotating that left leg out to what I call wee-wee dog. So the knee is in line with the hip, but it's moving out towards the left shoulder. Okay, now, as I turn back to 90 degrees, what I must do is drop that hip down without lowering the knee. And then once I've done that, then I can slide that left knee to the nose again. And that's kind of my release position. Okay, inhale, 90 degrees. Exhale, wee-wee dog. Inhale 90 degrees, but lower that left hip down. Exhale, slide the knee to the nose. Okay, do one more time. 90 degrees. Wee-wee dog, keep that knee lifted. 90 degrees. Release the hip down. And then this time, you're taking that leg all the way through, lifting the left hand to place the left foot into lunge, helping it through if it needs to. So I've got my hands either side of my foot here in a lunge. I'm tucking my back toes under and I'm pressing back out with my back leg. I really need that stretch into my back leg. And then from there, I'm squaring my back foot off. I apologise, you're going to see my back to start with. So I'm going to square my back foot off. I'm going to lift my right arm up to the sky and I'm coming into warrior 2. Just temporarily. Actually, what I want to achieve is to take my right hand to my thigh, turn my left palm up, keep my front knee bent, and take side stretch. So it's like a side back stretch. My back leg is straight, my toes are turned in. I'm lifting out of my hips, finding that space. And then I'm going to turn all the way back, pivot on the ball of the back foot, bend the back knee. Woo. Come on to all fours. Okay, so if those wrists are a bit achy, remember you can sit and stretch your wrists out like this, one option. Or you can really stretch the wrists out by having your fingertips pointing towards your knees. Either or is fine. Be mindful of working with your own body. Okay, back onto all fours. Let's move on to the right side. So, hit and tail, right knee to nose. That leg goes back through 90 degrees, flexed foot, wee wee dog. As it goes back to 90 degrees, make sure your pelvis is dropping down and bring the knee to the nose. Take it again. We've got 2 more. Wee wee dog. 90. Drop the hip, but keep the knee lifted. Knee to nose. Maybe a little breather there. And on the final one, magnificent for your hips, for your hip rotators. Take that right knee so that your right foot can come through between the hands. And then you're lifting that back knee. You're into your runner's lunge. And then from your runner's lunge, you're squaring your back foot off. So left toes turned in, left heel turn out. You're taking your left arm and you're making a big arc to bring yourself into warrior two. Make sure that knee's following the ankle. From there, you're going to turn your right palm to face upwards and you're going to take your lovely reverse warrior. It's a back side stretch. Good job. Okay, so as you release back to your lunge, you're going to step back and down dog is going to be your next move. Once you're into down dog, just walk out with your dog. Finding that length in the back. Remember that first finger and thumb, and just remember to shake the head no and nod the head yes. Okay, from there, let's walk the feet forward towards the hands and then hinge forward into our forward bend, Uttanasana. From there, you're going to take your hands on your shins, and without even knowing it, when you do your Ardha Uttanasana, you are actually working into a squat. Then from there, swoop your arms out and up to the side, press the palms together at the top. I'm just going to change my camera and bring your hands down in front of your heart. Good. So back to the belts. Just because we want to bring them in as a little feedback for chair position Utkatasana. So they're coming around the thighs, same place. But what we're going to do here is, again, we're going to take the legs so that they're pressing into the belt. Now, what I find here is what you might have to do is just roll the thighs out into the belt a little bit. Just, fractionally. And then this is our recovery position. Pressing back with the palms, engaging into the back of the body. Now, a lot of people say to me, in chair pose, Utkatasana, do I stick my bum out or do I tuck my bum under? Okay, my answer is always going to be, don't worry about it. Just think about what you're doing here at the front of the body. So just as you did, let's take that Ardha Uttanasana position. So let's breathe in, Swoop the arms up, press the palms together. As you breathe out, hinge forward. So your bottom's going out behind, your hands are coming onto your shins. Now we're going to be much more aware of your legs. Now we already know that if we press our legs into our belts, it helps us connect to our core. So from this position, all you're going to do is bend the knees a bit more and lift the chest. So the knees are going slightly forward, the chest is lifting, and then as you press the legs into the belt, I'm hoping you can feel something engaging through the front of the core. Now keep lifting the pelvic floor, keep feeling that midline, and then just add in the arms. So you're there in this magnificent chair pose. And all the time you're in this position, keep rolling the shoulders back, keep feeling the feet, but also keep that attention on the pelvic floor and on the lower belly. Okay, exhale, move your arms into car arms. So they're going to look like this. This is actually a posture. You could even do your lion breath here. Okay, back to your inhale, which is your arms extended, providing the shoulders are okay doing that. And then exhale, car arms. Good job. Okay, one more time. Good. So keep your hands in car arms, because that's really going to connect you to the back of your body. And then from there, we're going to fold forward. So you're going to fold forward into Uttanasana. Now, what tends to happen in this forward bend, so I'm just going to let my head and neck relax. What most of us do when we do a forward bend is we take the weight into the heels and we slide our bottom back. Remember what we were doing on the floor earlier on? So what we need to be really aware of in our forward fold is keeping the bottom in line with the heels, which might mean feeling that you're slightly leaning forward into the balls of your feet. But you will be getting a big stretch. Now, my knees are not straight yet. It's too early in the class for me. So I'm really lengthening from my pelvis. And then from there, I'm going to breathe in, swoop my arms up and out to the side, press my palms together, then exhale, slide the hands down in front of me. Okay, so this belt is just feedback, remember. So we're going to do without it, but I want you to imagine that it's still there. So that you're getting feedback from it, because you all did beautiful Utkatasana positions. So we're going to bring that into a little vinyasa. I'm taking my hands on my thighs. As I exhale, I'm going to move my hands down my thighs into my shins. Now, I'm going to visualize that belt. I'm going to lengthen my spine, lift my pelvic floor muscles, lift my lower belly, and find that same Utkatasana position that you had earlier on. Make sure you don't move the knees out too far, not too wide. Okay, exhale, hinge forward. Now as you come into your forward bend, bring some weight into the balls of the feet, don't stick the bottom out. Then bend the knees, and you will have to stick the bottom out now because you know you're in a squat. Take your right leg back and just kiss the knee to the floor. Then take down dog. Then breathe into plank. Then drop the knees. Ardha Chaturanga. Draw the heels of the hands towards the knees and see if you can lower gracefully down to the floor. Once you're down there, rest the head on the hands. And you're just going to engage through the legs. So I'm just going to get you to pick up your left leg, turn the leg into the midline slightly, and put the leg down so that all 5 toenails are pressing into the floor. And then do the same thing with the right leg. Lift it up, slightly roll it in, pop it down. So it's almost like the bell is still around the legs, even in this position on the floor. Then you're going to take your arms back to that car arm position. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders. I'll just show you one more time if you're not sure. This position here. So normally we do Sphinx where the arms are here. We're taking a wide Sphinx. And then from there, I'm going to just gently press into my elbows. And if you haven't already, lift your chest so that you're gazing forward. Now, for a lot of people, this is slightly less awkward on their low back. So if that's you, just acknowledge that this is perhaps what you'd rather do instead of Sphinx. And then from there, release back down, hands by the ribs or the waist, and you're going to press back, tail between the legs, all the way to extended child. Now, I'm going to work my left leg just to show you, but you're going to be using your right leg. Okay, so you're going to take your right leg, and as you inhale and ease forward, you're going to bring that right foot outside of the little finger on the right hand. As you exhale, slide it back. You're going to do 2 more. Inhale, right foot outside of right hand. Exhale, sink back. Next time you do that, keep the right foot there. Hands are inside of the right foot. And from there, you're going to pull the elbows in towards the ribs and lengthen the chest forward into gecko. Now, it's gecko, but you might be thinking it's actually happy baby upside down. So you've got that same connection to the hip flexor. You're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Now to do this, you might need to shuffle. So your left foot is going to have to go back in line with your right foot so that you can square the foot off. Toes turning in, heel turning out, just like we do with Warrior 2. But this time, as we swoop the left arm up, we're going to take the right elbow onto the right thigh, bring the left arm up to the sky, and then extend the left arm to point towards the outer left heel. I can just turn my head around to gaze over my shoulder. Then I'm going to bring this left arm in front of my body, make a big circle with it, and keep it in line with the shoulder. So it's kind of coming across the side of my face. Breathe. Parsvakonasana. Parsvottanasana, I apologize. Okay, from there, swing the arm round again, but this time pivot around to face your right foot and then slide the left foot in. Hinge forward, Uttanasana. Breathe in, swoop the arms up and out to the side, press the palms together, and as you exhale, bring the hands down in front of the heart. Good. Okay, let's do all that on the left side. So from here, hands come onto the thighs. Exhale, bend into the knees, bring the hands to the fronts of the shins. Now, Think of your tummy muscles. Think of your pelvic floor. As you release the arms, find chair position, Utkatasana, by rolling the shoulder blades back, by lifting the pelvic floor. Good job. Okay, from there, bring the palms together, hinge forward, Uttanasana, weight through the balls of the feet. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, step the left leg back, kiss the knee to the floor. Then into down facing dog. Down facing dog into plank. Plank, lower the knees, Ardha Chaturanga if you can, or any other way of gracefully moving down to the floor. So either you can do wide arm sphinx, engaging those legs, or you can do regular sphinx. Yeah, so remember you've still got to have the legs active as if the bell is wrapped around them. It's just a bit difficult to get it wrapped around when you're lying down. You have to visualize it. And then release. Hands by the floating ribs, back you go. Extended child pose. And you've got 3 step throughs. Left side. Left foot steps through. Out. Little finger side of the left hand. Back it goes. Number 2. Back. And on number 3, stay with it. Bend the elbows into the ribs, lengthen the chest forward. Feel that half happy baby position. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back leg. Okay, remember you've got to move the back leg in line with your left foot so that you can square that back foot off. So toes turn in, heels turn out. And as you swoop the right arm up, you take the left elbow onto the left thigh, turn the ribs to the right, and point your fingertips out behind you. Let me just turn around so you can see me. Opening the chest. Then from there, I'm going to swoop this arm forward, across my body, and then up alongside of my ear. Good. Breathing, lengthening. See if you can connect this right arm to the outside edge of the right leg. And then from there, swoop it around again. To pivot around to face the left foot, and then you're coming out of your sun salute, pressing head to shin, bending your knees, swooping your arms up to the side, pressing the palms together, and as you exhale, slide the hands down in front of the heart. Okay, standing in Tadasana just for a moment or two. Just get your breath back. So I'm going to take my hands on my hips here, and I'm just going to do a little hip rotation. So just give yourself that little time just to ease out, and then the opposite direction. Now there's so many of these moves, I've kind of varied them all week. So we're going to do the cross leg move to start. So I'm just going to, first of all, I'm just going to cross my right leg in front of my left leg. Okay, I'm going to turn to a side so I don't confuse you. And then I'm going to undo it and cross it behind. Okay, so I'm going to go cross, forward, cross, behind. Cross, forward, cross, behind. Okay, now all the time I did that, my pelvis faced forward. Now in this movement, that's going to stay the same. So you're going to bend into your left knee, that's the leg at the front, and you're going to stretch your right leg out behind you. Now, the most important thing is this front knee. Got to stay stable in line with your toes. I'm on the ball of my back foot. So it's like I'm taking a bow. Okay, but what I'm actually going to do is as I take my bow, I'm going to bring my arms to the right. My arms are going in the opposite direction to my leg, but my right hip has got to face my front knee. So my right hip is facing forward, so don't go so far that you turn your hips, because that's going to impinge on the leg. Okay, and then you're going to lift and bring that back foot behind the front foot. Okay, if you find taking the arms hinders you, just concentrate on the legs. Okay, let's do it again. Slide the back foot behind, over to the left. And then make sure your hips are facing forward, make sure your front knee is stable. And then take your arms to the right, but keep your right hip facing forward. You should be feeling something happening here on your outer left hip joint. And then from there, undo. Woo! I'm really feeling it. Bring the leg behind. Okay, now you might find that that helps your eagle legs. So just a little try. So balance on your right leg. See if you can bend the right knee and just wrap the left toes behind the right calf. You can use a wall if you've got something to hold on to, but it comes from this outer hip rotator. Yeah, good job. Okay, let's undo. And then just walk out a little bit, yeah? Because you're going to feel it in that. You could give it a little fist pummel. Yeah. Okay. So let's do the same thing again. This time we're going to take the right foot as our standing leg. No, we're not going to take the left leg as our standing leg. Okay, Jules, just shut up. Just do it. So just take your right foot in front and then behind. And then in front and behind. So it's just like a little warm up. From behind. And then this time you stay in with the right foot in front. I'll get it right eventually. Okay, so your hips are facing forward. Bending into your right leg. Slide your left foot back, and I'm on the ball of my left foot, but my right knee is moving in line with my right foot. Yeah, so just govern that, how wide you're going to go, depending on your knees and your hips. And then if you want to add in, take your arms to the left, but keep your right hip facing forward. If you don't want to use the arms, just keep them on the hips. Just as good. And then inhale, slide the back leg in. Okay, let's hit one more time. Press the palms back, just engage the back of the body, and then go for it. If you haven't already, now remember you've got to roll that right knee back in line with the foot. Don't let it roll out to the side. And then if you want to, take your arms to the left. Wowzers, I hope you're feeling that. Okay, and then from there, release the arms, Step the left foot behind, and then this time, if you want to, check how it feels to take your eagle legs. Inhale. Release off. Give the legs a little shake out. Good, isn't it? Okay. Next move is going to start in footballer stretch. So in footballer stretch, my feet are parallel. So I'm turning my toes in, I'm turning my heels out. And I've still got this sense of a bit of awareness in my outer hip rotators. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bend into my left knee, place my hands on my left thighs. You know this one. Chest forward, bottom back. Imagine you're just about to start a football game. That's just like the counter pose to what we just did. And then inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, take the other side. Again, chest forward, bottom back. Okay, inhale, up to the center. All great. What we're going to do though, is we're going to turn the feet from parallel to 10 to 2. Now, it's kind of wider than a horse. So if I tried to do horse here, I'd be in a sort of Shire horse position. Yeah, because I'd have a really big horse to ride. So it's wider than our regular horse. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix the two. So we're going to bend the left knee in line with the left foot. But what I'm going to do to really make sure my knee is positively active, I'm going to place my left hand at the back of my knee, and I'm going to press my knee into my hand and press my hand into my knee to stabilise. Once I've done that, I'm going to keep that knee and that leg in the same position. But what I am going to do is make an aeroplane move. So that stays the same. My right leg stays extended. I'm going to stick my bottom behind me and lengthen my chest forward with my arms moving out to the side like an aeroplane. And then I'm going to inhale, lift up, but that right leg stays the same. Sorry, that left leg stays the same. Okay, down you go again. Lift up. Good job. One more time. And then inhale back to the center. Good. Now, turn the feet to parallel and then turn the heels in. Now just see if you went into horse now, does this left side feel a little bit softer? So you could ride a horse. Okay, inhale, lift up. Good, so we'll do the other side. Heels turn out, and then balls of the feet turn out. So it's a very wide stride. Okay, then we're going to bend into our right knee. Again, we're just going to stabilise that knee joint, pressing the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. Once it's stabilised and you're working your shin and your calf, here you go. Forward on the exhale, aeroplane position. Reach those arms out. Lift the sit bones up if you want a bit more challenge. Inhale, lift up. I think we call this skater girl in class, maybe a year or so ago. These movements are always getting reinvented with different names. Good job. Okay, and lift up. So, back to parallel feet, and then back to 10 to 2, but for horse. And just check, you see, look, you can do it. So when I say to you, sit into your horse, this is what I mean. I mean, sit on your horse. But your legs are strong. Your back is long. Yeah? You're looking great, guys. But you can see how it really affects us with those outer hip rotator muscles. Okay, as we come up to standing, we're going to take a Sailor Sam back to the centre and give the legs a little shake. Okay, I'm just going to do one more thing with the bell and then we'll come on to a twist on the floor. So last movement here. And we're just going to do a couple to each side. So it's similar to the movement we've just done, but you're bending in the knees. I'm sending my hips to the right. Now, I've got to really work strongly into my left leg because I'm going to stick my hips further out to the right, but I'm going to send my arms to the left. And I'm going to lift up, press back with my palms, connect to the back of my body. Okay, let's do another one. Now we do this position all the time, don't we? In things like Trikonasana. We've just got the legs wider. So we are engaging into those outer hip flexors when we do our regular practice. This is just narrowing that field of awareness. Okay, let's take the pelvis. So bend the knees, take the pelvis to the left, and then keep taking it to the left. You really have to work your right leg now, and then send the body and the arms, but the pelvis stays facing forward, remember. And then up again. Back. You forgot that. Okay, one more time. How's it going? Good. Okay, well done. So, enough of the bell. So we're going to come to do a twist on the floor called twisted roots. And you can either do legs crossed, or you can check out how your eagle legs are feeling. So let's all come down to the floor, semi-supine. Okay, once you've given yourself a few moments just to settle. So basically what you're going to do is you're shifting your hips just like we just did. So I'm shifting my hips to the right, just like I did. Then I'm picking my legs up and I'm crossing my right leg over the left leg. So remember, this is fine. I've crossed my legs above the knees. I can stay like this, or I can try and take my right foot behind my left calf or ankle. Whatever I'm doing, I'm then going to place my feet. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep my knees to my chest. I'm going to place my feet to the floor as I roll over to the left. So my arms are out at shoulder height. And wherever you end up, you must have your feet connected to the floor. I hope that makes sense. Because if your feet are hanging in the air, you're putting far too much strain on your lumbar spine. Okay, if this is too much for your back, What I suggest you do is you undo the legs, you place a block or a cushion between your legs, and you bring your knees as close to the chest as you can. I'm going to just demo it for you. So you're doing that one, that Jathara Pavarotti, if you don't want to stay in this one, or if it's too much for your lumbar, because it is really strong on the outer hip rotator. I love it, but I know if you've got a back issue, it might just be a step too far. I'm going to stay with it for maybe another 2 breaths. Well done. Okay, I'm going to undo my legs before I come back on my spine, and then I'm going to make sure I am fully on my spine, because I've got to give my right hip side the chance to relax. Give it a few breaths. So basically you've created some length there. Okay, when you feel it's okay, hips to the left. Cross left leg over right, or eagle legs. Arms out at shoulder height. Legs to the right, maybe head to the left. Again, if it's too much for your lower back, remember legs together, block between the legs, Jathara Pavarotti. Breathe deeply. Try and breathe if you can into this outer left hip area. Make sure your feet are connected to the floor. Good job. Okay, when you're ready, undo the legs. Remember, as you come back to the center, please give yourself a chance to let that the back of the left glute and hip reconnect to the earth. Whew. So, relaxation time, guys. So you may find corpse position is a bit more accessible. Maybe not. You know, I'm not imposing this on you. Yeah. If you still find that because of your back issue that you don't want to lie flat, that's absolutely fine. Take any other position that you wish. Make sure you're warm. We're staying here for about 10 minutes. As I said, we're working on this outlook. As you connect to your body, soften your face, soften your lips, soften your eyes. the last few months has definitely challenged all of us with response to how do you maintain a positive outlook when the hurricane around you is completely throwing everything around. And the best way to shift yourself from that sense of I can't cope, I've got nothing, everything's falling apart, is to move into an appreciation of the things that you do have instead of focusing on what you don't have. But exercising the muscles of gratitude is a great way of shifting your outlook. In this meditation, all we're doing is bringing our attention to certain parts of the body, appreciating them, and then smiling in them. So we're going to start with our feet. So take your attention to your feet, and just for a moment, think of all the things that you have to be thankful for having your feet. Now, doing yoga could be the first one. Walking, cycling, dancing, moving, taking you places, balancing you out, connecting you to the air. Just a few things. And then once you've thought of those things, I want you to show your appreciation and thanks to your feet by thanking them and then sending them a smile. And you could maybe even visualize a smile in the soles of the feet. And then I want you to do the same with your legs. How much do you have to thank your legs for? I mean, even for swinging them out of bed and getting you on your feet this morning. And then sending your appreciation and thanks. And then see if you can create a little smile at the back of your knees. So it's hands next. And you know we would be lost without this sense of touch, sense of holding, pressing. Thank your hands. And then see if you can visualize a smile in your palms. And then your arms. Immediately I think of arms, I think of hugging, holding, comforting. Also so many other things like driving, riding. your arms. Then visualize a little smile in the crux of your elbow. So next we've got the torso. And the torso takes in so much. Not just our spine, which is our foundation, but also all those internal organs that work tirelessly to make sure that we can live, can eat, can breathe, can love, can feel. So you've got two smiles here. The first one is from hip bone to hip bone. That's going to smile at all those low organs like your stomach, your reproductive organs, your kidneys, your liver, bladder. And then you've got another smile from clavicle to clavicle, yeah? Cross here. That's going to smile at your heart and your lungs, spine. Maybe to your throat. And then we've got the face. The kind of seat of the senses, yeah? The eyes and the lips, the nose and the ears. And this is an easy smile. Then you've got the head, and I'm including the head because it's the mind, it's the brain, it's the fuse box. So once you've thanked your brain, your mind, maybe just send a little smile across the third eye. Maybe even across the back. And then just for a moment, thank your whole body. Doing the chimes signify the end of our practice. Just take your time to ease yourself out, to stretch, sigh, yawn. Eventually moving yourself semi-supine, knees to chest, and into sitting.